to say I'm not a violent man. The trouble just has a way of finding me. But I'd be lying. Doesn't matter where I go. How far I run. Death's always waiting. Just not for me. Because I ain't no hero. I'm Wolverine.
The question that comes up a lot to us at Insomniac Games is, are you going to make a Wolverine game that is as violent, as visceral as the character in the comics? Working with Wolverine is interesting because part of the root to who he is that he's an unreliable narrator. He has gaps in his memory. So Wolverine doesn't really remember a lot of his life, and that's got to be an extremely frustrating aspect.
He's this ball of rage and fury, but then he could turn on a dime, and he could be very, very kind and tender in the next moment.
When we're casting for someone like Logan, what we're looking for in character traits are someone who can convey a lot with very little being spoken.
When you have that first moment that we show in gameplay, there's so much emotion that you can feel behind his eyes. He looks relentless, he looks gritty, he looks angry, but also he looks maybe a little sad.
That level of acting and being able to just deliver that performance with believability across both spectrums was something Insomniac, ourselves, we all agreed he's the one. We don't need to see anybody else.
Hey, I'm Liam McIntyre, and I play James Logan Howlett in Marvel's Wolverine.
Perfect.
That's not bad. That one sort of works. Fans out there know what Wolverine is, who he is. My job is to try and find the essence of who Wolverine is, especially as it applies to our story. People hurt him, people take from him, people betray him. He still fights for people who can't fight for themselves. It's one of the greatest honors of my life, one of the biggest responsibilities I've ever had, and one of the coolest things I've ever got to do.
The entire game is built around staying true to the Wolverine experience.
And then how do we want to put our Insomniac stamp on that? How do we want to put our own spin and creativity, but still give something new and fresh that fans are going to be excited about?
It's the full package. It is a level of detail that we've never been able to do before.
You could see it in the trailer. You can see pores. You can see blood in between the little lines of his teeth. I love the attention to detail.
It's exciting that we're going to be able to bring that kind of fidelity to players.
Wolverine is a character who goes to many places through the comics.
You'll see the Canadian wilderness, you'll see Japan.
There's a shot where Logan is sliding down that rooftop, and you can see the breadth of Madripoor and Lowtown.
It's always nice teasing the depth and the amount of characters that we'll be seeing in the game. Omega Red makes an appearance, Mystique is there, and there are some hints to other characters that fans of Wolverine will recognize for sure.
Another visual element of Marvel's Wolverine is the blood. The blood tech that was put into this game is pretty phenomenal.
There's a part in the trailer where Logan jumps down and then he does the claws up through the face. That one I thought maybe was going to be taking it too far, but I am so glad that we have it. It looks fantastic.
Wolverine's combat, making that special, making that feel like him, making it feel different to anything else you've played, that's a tough job. What's so cool for me is there was this one section of the game I got to try. It was just visceral and immediate and so incredibly satisfying, and I was like, this is gonna be amazing.
We're pretty excited about the artwork that we're using on the cover. It's dynamic, it's rough-edged.
You notice it doesn't look like our past games. It has a sense of urgency and forward movement and rage and fury, and that's Wolverine.
One of the cool things about Insomniac is they are probably the most collaborative group of people I have ever worked with. They make you feel part of their team. That's not something you always get.
We've been in a creative collaboration with Insomniac Games and PlayStation for over a decade now. We've made some of the greatest superhero games of all time, and that was always the goal, making games that are timeless.
I think fans are going to be excited, but I'm also really excited about it because I'm really proud of what we made. We're focused on making the best Wolverine game ever.
On behalf of everyone at Insomniac Games and the Wolverine team especially, we want to thank you for taking time to watch our trailer. We can't wait to show you more in spring of 2026.
That's where we always be. Hiding in shadows where we don't belong. Living in the darkness to hide our wrong. You make me at the dark of
Marvel's Wolverine is an upcoming mature-tone action adventure developed by Insomniac Games and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment for PlayStation 5 in fall 2026. Designed as a standalone entry but existing within the same continuity as Insomniac's Spider-Man universe, the game puts players in control of James Logan Howlett/Wolverine, voiced by Liam McIntyre, immersing them in a gritty, violent story that emphasizes both the brutality of his powers and the emotional consequences of his past. Combat is built around Wolverine's signature feral style, with a focus on close-quarters claw strikes, devastating finishers, counterattacks, and the two unleash rage states that heighten damage and aggression, while stealth takedowns, traversal mechanics, and interactive environments allow for multiple approaches to engagements. Exploration is tied to narrative hubs and tightly designed arenas that support vertical combat and cinematic encounters, with rumored settings including Madripoor and other locations tied to Wolverine's history. Story elements highlight Logan's struggles against conspiracies rooted in his violent past, confrontations with iconic adversaries such as Omega Red and Mystique, and the tension between his animalistic instincts and his search for purpose. Insomniac has emphasized a darker, more mature tone than their Spider-Man series, aiming to deliver a cinematic yet highly interactive experience that captures Wolverine's raw physicality and moral ambiguity. Development has seen leadership changes. Brian Horton was succeeded by Marcus Smith as creative director, and Mike Daly stepped in as game director after Cameron Christian's departure, while a significant data breach in 2023 exposed early materials but did not derail progress. Leveraging Insomniac's technical expertise with the PlayStation 5, the game will utilize fast loading through the SSD, advanced DualSense haptic feedback for combat immersion, ray-traced lighting, and high-fidelity animations to make every strike feel impactful. Now you can enjoy the screenshots without any interruption. Enjoy.